And we are live. Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us. Paul's with me today.
Hello.
We're going to be doing a tutorial and playthrough of Rove. Now, this is a game which is coming out to a crowdfunding campaign near you on Tuesday. So we're doing this video live on the, the 10th of May. And yeah, next Tuesday, it's going to go live. And there is a link in the description of this video if you're interested in checking that out. What we're going to be doing tonight is we're going to be basically trying to give you an overview of the game to hopefully help you make a decision about whether this is the kind of game for you. This is a sponsored playthrough video, so you're not going to get any opinions from either of us in this game. And we will just try and show you the best we can of what the game has to offer. If you have any specific questions about the game itself, there is somebody in the chat, Go West, which is West from Adax Games, who has been helping me. Big thank you to West for helping me earlier this week and earlier today in learning how to play the game. And yeah, if you've got any questions about the game, just pop that in the chat and he'll be there to answer them. So, very, very high level, this is a 1 to 4 player fantasy cooperative adventure game with a story and a narrative and lots of different scenarios to play. You are in the world of Lalos, I think it's how you pronounce it. You've got a nice world map there. I don't know exactly where we start, but this game consists of a number of chapters. I think it might be 7 chapters, I think, or 7, whatever, but each one is made up of 5 adventures. Now, it's a branching storyline. So, and right at the start, after you've played the tutorial, and we're not doing the tutorial tonight, we're playing the scenario 1 of the left-hand branch. So we made a decision at the end of the tutorial to go, let's do that. Let's rush into this forest to help this Tafir who's in trouble, and we'll do that. Now that has started us on a 5-part quest line, and if we hadn't done that, we'd have gone down a different path. So there's replayability in the game because there's lots of different options, but also Wes was explaining this to me, is that at a certain point in the campaign, those branches, the choices that you made, will come together. Mm-hmm. However, the big difference between this and certain other games is even though you will arrive at the same scenario, it will be completely different depending on which branch you've taken. So it will be the same scenario, the same map setup and everything else, but actually the enemies might be different, or somebody might be on your side or he might be against you or something like that. So there are some quite big differences based on the choices that you make. Your character that you choose to play is going to progress over the course of the campaign in a few different ways. You are going to be gaining list, which is the currency of the game, and you're going to be using that to buy more equipment. You are going to be gaining new skill cards over the course of the game. You will see that each of us has our skill cards here. When you're playing the game, you might want to have these cards in your hand. We've got them laid out just for the purposes of today. But your character as well is also going to evolve over the course of the campaign. Now, I didn't mention that to you this afternoon, but this character here, this will come out and it will evolve, and certain things about this character will improve and so on and so forth. So there's a number of different things that you will improve over the course of the campaign. What we're going to be doing tonight is we are just going to be playing Quest 1, Encounter 1. I'm going to skip the story so that we avoid the spoilers, but as you will see from the map, he says, this is the map. We've got some enemies, and we have a boss enemy over there, which is Zapuda. I think I've spent all day trying to pronounce this.
Zabudi.
This is a big boss thing, and this is what we're trying to kill. It's got 10 health per rover. We are rovers. And so it's got 20 health, and our objective is to simply just defeat that boss. We don't have to defeat the other ones if we don't want to. You will notice, if you look carefully, that if we were playing a 3 or 4 character game, there would be other things on here. And I mentioned at the start that this is a 1 to 4 player game. If you are playing solo, you do have to control 2 characters. Now, looking at the map, you will see that we have standees for the enemies. This is a game in which it is a standee game. There are not miniatures for the monsters, and West will correct me if I'm wrong on this, but there are also standees for the characters in the base game. There is going to be an add-on which is going to give you miniatures for the characters, and I've been told that it will give you the miniatures for the characters through all of their different evolutions, because the character will actually physically change. They literally do evolve and transform. So yeah, we're going to be using the miniatures for the characters today, just because I think they show up a bit better on the overhead camera. Unfortunately, the standees don't show up very well on the overhead camera, but I will try and use this view here as much as I can when we're doing the actual fight itself. Right. We have got a limit of 8 rounds. So we have these 8 cubes here. Again, these are not included in the game. This is a prototype. It's a nice looking prototype, but everything you see here is a prototype copy. I think the artwork and the graphic design is probably 90-95% done, but the actual, you know, like how shiny the cards are or things like that, this is a prototype. Bear that in mind. Some of the things that we are using from my games collection, we're using these 8 white cubes here that we grabbed just 5 minutes ago. This is our timer. So we have 8 rounds to complete this scenario. If we don't complete the scenario in 8 rounds, then yeah, we hang our heads in shame and go home. I'm also using my gaming rules dice to represent the health of the enemies. And if we just have a look at the enemies, what we've got in this, we have 4 of these briar wogs. So we're using this one as number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3, this is number 4, and the gaming rules is 6. So each of those has 6 health, as you can see here. We have 1 grove tender, which has 10 health, and this is, I can't pronounce it. Zibhudi the briar bull. Let's take these off. That's what he looks like. It's quite ugly, and he's got 20 health. Now over here is what the monsters will do when it's their turn. We'll come on to that in more detail later on. Because we've both played it before, what we're going to do is we're going to start playing almost as soon as possible, and we'll explain the rules to you as you go along. But before we dive into that, I'm going to show you my player board. So this is my character. I am a shadow piercer, and the type of character I am, I think there's a sheet over here, isn't there? Yes, I am a Tifa. So there's a little bit of background about each of the characters. I am a Tifa. This is my character. I've got 9 health. I can have a maximum of 3 ether dice. I start with 1 ether dice. I've got various affinities. The most important thing is I've got these 4 abilities. Now, these abilities are card tiles that you just slide up and down. And on your turn, you will get to do 2 abilities on your turn. And when you do an ability, you do that. It's just as a reminder that you can't do the same ability more than once. Now, because we've already completed the tutorial, I start with a few pieces of equipment. I've got a weapon, I've got some armor, which is actually just some boots, and I have some consumable items. Now, without continually referencing another very popular fantasy cooperative game, these consumable items are consumable, which means if you use them, they're gone. They don't magically refill at the end of an adventure. So use them if you need to, but just remember that if you do use them, they are gone and you will have to buy them again. What's printed in the top right, this is the cost in list, which is the currency, and you can buy that from the shops in between adventures. Now, each character is going to play very differently. I think, and again, West will correct me on this, that there are 5 characters included in the game, but the box that I got sent also had some other boxes in there with question marks on. They were filled with bubble wrap. So hopefully your copy of the game will not be filled with boxes with bubble wrap in. Hopefully they will have some extra stuff in there. But 5 characters is what I know. Again, check out the the crowdfunding page for the full details of exactly what's going to be included. There might be stretch goals or something like that that I'm not aware of. But each character is going to play very differently. And just from our game this afternoon, we could see that you've got to get to know these characters. This is a game that does have a bit of a learning curve. You said to me at 2 o'clock, you said it's not really heavy, is it? Yeah. And I said, no, it's not really heavy. Now that you've played it,
it's heavier than I think.
It's heavier than, okay. Yeah. But you do need a little bit of time to get used to the way that your character plays.
Yeah.
So in addition to your character, your abilities, and your equipment, you also have, now which button's this? This button. Yes. So I've got these 7 skill cards. Now, if you look in the top left, you will notice these 2 have exclamation marks on. These are react cards. So you will have 2 of those, and your other 5 cards are a combination of rally cards or rave cards. Now, the general distinction between the 3 types of cards are The rally cards, when you play these cards, and you will only play one of these on your turn, it will generate for you ether. So ether is represented in the game by these dice, and whenever I play Miasmic Arrow, for example, it will generate this particular type of ether, which is a morph ether. If it has this icon on, this is a random ether, and you will actually roll the dice, and that will tell you which one you get. The Rave skill cards, these cost ether to use, and you will see that this one, Devour Prey, is actually going to cost me 3 ether to use. So I can't use this on the first turn of the game. I actually start with 1 ether, but on my first turn I could play Miasmic Arrow, I'd then have 2 ether. On my next turn I could maybe play Passing Knell, I'd then have 3 ether, and then on my turn afterwards I then might play Devour Prey, and that will cost me 3 ether. This icon here, by the way, means that I also have to exhaust one of my abilities, which means I only get to do 1 ability that turn instead of 2. But when you are playing a scenario, you will choose 5 of these skill cards from your pool of cards. Now, this is the 5 that this character starts with, but at various points throughout the campaign, you will be adding more cards in. So you get more cards that you will add into your pool, and at the start of a scenario, once you have seen what the scenario is, and what the goal of the scenario and what the enemies are, you will then say, right, these are the 5 cards that I'm going to take with me on that particular scenario, and that will require a knowledge of the cards and which ones are going to be best. In addition to that, you will have 2 react cards. Now, let's just go back to the cards, because these cards are all 2-sided. And some of them, for example, this Passing Knell, no, it's not this Passing Knell, Miasmic Arrow. So this card is a rally card on both sides. Whichever side of the card is face up, it's a rally card. Some of the other ones have got a rally on one side and a rave on the other side. And some of them, like this one, is a rave on both sides. Now, whenever you use a card, and just as a reminder, you only get to use 1 card per turn. When you use it, it flips over. So as well as choosing which 5 cards you are going to take with you into that scenario, you also get to choose which side up the cards are at the start of the game. Now, when we played this afternoon, because we were both kind of learning the game, we just picked our 5 cards and we put them down randomly. We didn't do very well this afternoon. We didn't succeed at the scenario. And I think one of the reasons why we didn't succeed is because we just put our cards down randomly. It was good for learning the game. Yeah. But now that we've actually played this scenario once, we're now going to... We've actually thought about what side we want our cards. So, without further ado, shall we give it a go, and we'll start playing. And as I say, I'll give you a more of an explanation as we go on. So each of the 8 rounds of the game consists of a phase where we both get to take a turn, and then a phase where the enemies get to take their turn, and then that's it. That's the end of the round. So when it's our turn, or when it's our phase to take a turn, each of us can take a turn, and the order in which we take a turn doesn't matter. It's completely up to us, and we don't have to choose the same order each time. And on your turn, you get to do 2 of these abilities. You get to use 1 of your skills, and you can use as much equipment as you want to. The exception to that is the react cards. The react cards, they are used at the particular moment when the card says, which might be in your turn, it might be in your ally's turn, it might be in the enemy's turn. But when you use a react skill, you put your little marker on it to say, I have used a react, and that will only come off at the end of the round. So even though you've got 2 cards, you can only react once at some point over the course of the round.
If you have the cards in your hand, you just use the counter and turn it upside down.
Yes. So we talked about this earlier. If you are concerned about table space, then what you could do is you could actually have all of these cards in your hand. I don't know if I mentioned, but when you play a card, you flip it over. Did I mention that? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So if these cards were in your hand, then when you played a card, you just play it, do what it says, flip it over, put it back in your hand. And as Paul says, if you're playing with the cards in your hand, then yes, when you use your react ability, you just flip it over to the grey side. But just for today, we're going to keep the cards in front of us. But I think when we play this game offline properly, I'm probably going to have the cards in my hand. Right then. Let's make a start. Do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can go first.
So we've chosen where we can start. The flags indicate our starting positions. So yeah, we are here now. Give you a quick introduction of Paul's character. Paul is a true scale, so he's a symbiotic being, and he's got a kind of, how would you describe it?
Well, some kind of, there's a creature on my back. There's some kind of beetle or ant or something.
Yeah. So you are a Kebraska.
A Keb,
which is a symbiotic partnership made up of the Keb, which is a collective of sapient insectoids, and the Raska.
Move. I'm going to use my skitter.
So your skitter ability is simply move 4.
Just move up to 4.
So you can move 4 hexes on the board. You can move through allies, but not end the turn in the same
something
space.
that's worth remembering, because we did forget a bit earlier. The Grove Tender has got a shield.
The Grove Tender has 1 shield, which means every time you do damage through an attack, so the Grove Tender is going to absorb 1 damage. Which, if you were doing 5 or 6 damage, would be absolutely fine. But if you're like me, you're finding these tiny little arrows. Yeah. I'm doing 1 or 2 damage at a time. So me attacking the Grove Tender is not good.
In that case, I'm going to move.
Apparently, the stream just blipped.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the aliens in Columpton.
Ah, okay.
Hopefully, it's all okay now. There's nothing showing untoward at my end, but the stream seems to have blipped. Who knows? Could be the heat.
Okay, so I'm going to do skitter.
Yeah, so you're going to move 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Now you'll notice these red areas on the map. These are thick, spiky brambles. Anybody who moves on to one of those will take 1 damage. We also have these on the map. These are traps. In fact, I did have a preset. These are traps. The first time somebody enters one of these, even if they were jumping, would trigger the trap and take 2 damage, and then the trap would then be removed. We also have these trees, which have got a black edge, so these are impassable terrain, and these will block line of sight. And we also have special things on the map. We have these. So these are actually ether dice, but a couple of rules special about these. First of all, it costs 1 extra movement point to move to a hex adjacent to one of these. So moving to there or there is going to cost 1 extra movement point. When you are there, you can spend a movement point to pick up that ether die. So ether die is one of the currencies which we're going to be using in the game. And yeah, you can basically pick that up. This is the big boss, and the boss in this scenario is not going to move. It doesn't mean that the boss cannot be moved, but the boss is not going to move
of its own volition.
Yes.
Okay.
So
that was good. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use intrusive thoughts.
Okay, so do you want to pop it there, and we'll show everybody on the big screen. So this is the first card that we're going to see, and you can tell that it's one of Paul's cards because it's green. It's a rally card because of this icon, and it's going to generate some ether when it's played. And basically, you follow the instructions on the card from top to bottom. If there is a line with a little arrow on like that, it means you have to have done the top bit to then be able to do that bit. And then because there's an arrow there, you have to have done that bit in order to do that bit. So we'll go through this. First of all, what it's going to do is it's going to force 1 non-boss enemy that's within range 3 to perform 2 movement. Then the enemy will suffer 1 damage. And then after that, Paul will generate an ether die, specifically that particular type. So that's what that card does. And if you want to go through that now, you're going to force an enemy, a non-boss enemy.
Yeah. Can I actually do it the other way around?
You can.
Now that you've explained that really well.
I've explained it.
Now that you've explained it,
You're going to do that.
I'm going to do that in a moment.
Okay.
The first one I'm going to do is I'm going to use seize. Okay, which forces 1 enemy within range 3 to move 1.
Okay, so a similar thing.
Similar sort
it's
of
done
thing.
with an ability rather than a card.
And you'll see why that way round.
Okay.
So I'm going to move this enemy into here.
So it takes 1 damage. Now that's 1 damage, which is not an attack. So the armor doesn't come into play. So it's down to 9.
Now I'm going to use this.
Yep.
Because I can force him to move 2.
You're going to move 2 back into another one.
Into another one.
Okay. And it takes another 1 from that.
Yeah.
So it's down to 7. So that's not bad. You've done 3 damage to it, even though you haven't attacked it.
Yeah. And I gain
You generate some more. So these are the ether die, and there are 6 sides, which is We got it over there. It's fire, water, earth, air, crux, and morph. And this is specifically morph. And as I mentioned earlier on, you will use those dice, you will spend them by moving them from your ether pool to your infused ether in order to perform the rave skills that you've got. That's what they're used for.
So I've done this action, intrusive thoughts, and now turn it over. And that's my turn.
So you did your 2 abilities, you've done your thing, you're not using any of your equipment. Right, so it's my go. So your character is good at basically moving people around. My character is a ranged character. I've got a bow and I'm good at shooting things. So I think that's probably what I'm going to do. And as I mentioned earlier on, I only do low amounts of damage. So for me to attack the Grove Tender is probably not something that I want to do. So I think I'm going to use my bound ability. And we're going to go stick over this side of the board, I think. 1, 2, 3. And then I am now within range 3 of this Briarwog, and I'm hoping it's going to move towards me and trigger that trap. But we'll see. We'll see. So now that I've done that, I'm going to do an attack. Now, which attack should I do?
Could ambush, I guess.
I could ambush. I think I'm going to ambush. So ambush is a ranged attack. Now in this game, any ranged attack cannot be used at ranged 1. This tile says it's 2 damage at range 2 to 3. So you will not find a ranged attack that actually works at range 1. That isn't a thing in this game. So it's 2 damage at range 2 to 3. Now every time you do an attack, you roll this d8. And if you have a look at my character sheet, which is this button here, you will see that these are my ether affinities. This is basically going to modify the damage that I do. So my ability is 2 damage, but we're going to roll this dice. And I've rolled fire, and it's exactly the same as this afternoon. I am rubbish, and fire for me is -1. So I've actually only dealt 1 damage to number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1 damage. That goes on there. Right, so that's my 2 abilities done. But then what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do I was going to do that, but I think I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my miasmic arrow. So I'll just show you that on the big screen here. So miasmic arrow, again, it's a rally skill. This means it's a negative condition, and this means that I am going to be putting one of my tokens onto a space within range 0 to 3. So these tokens, there's lots of these tokens in the game. I think they're called ether fields, and they all do different things. Now what mine does is actually printed on my character sheet, and it basically means that any attack from a creature on this space, it's a deep shadow, is going to do 2 less damage. So I'm going to take one of my little tokens. Is it that one or is it that one? It's that one. And I'm going to put it on there. So when that Briarwog attacks, it's going to do 2 less damage, and then the token is going to be removed. Most of these tokens will affect one thing. The next time they trigger, they'll remove. There are 2 of them in the game which actually are persistent effects, but that's not one of them. I then gain some morph ether, same as you, and then I flip the card over to the other side, which is invigorate. Right. Now I did say that you can use equipment as well on your turn. We're not in a position to be using any of that equipment at the moment, so we'll come back to that later on. But that is our go done. Now we go to the enemies. So, pressing that button. Here's the enemies. Now, in the round 1 of the game, the enemies are going to do this first thing. So they will always do this in round 1 of the game. So the Briarwogs are going to do a tongue pluck. The Grove Tenders are going to do a soothing pollen. And the boss is going to do a big gulp. In future rounds, this token will either move 1, 2, or 3 spaces. And you don't know until it's the monster's turn to act. Now, this is the dice that you roll. There are 3 1s, there are 2 2s, and there's a 3. So you already know right from the start of the scenario exactly what the 4 possible tactics that it's going to do, because the rovers are explorers, they have a lot of information, and they know how these enemies work. But you don't know exactly what they're going to do. So you can sort of predict it. You know, there's a 50% chance they're going to do this next, but they might do that and that. This gives you the ability to kind of sort of plan, but without having the perfect information. So we do the Briarwogs first, and each of the Briarwogs is going to do this, which is they're going to jump 2, and then they're going to do a melee attack, dealing 2 damage at a range of 1 to 2. So it's a melee attack, but it can go at 2 range. And then it's going to pull that person 1 space towards them. Basically, it's a tongue plug. Now, if we have a look at the board, you might be able to see this, but these have got little numbers on. Okay, so each of these enemies has a number on, and we're going to resolve them in order. So we just place them randomly, but we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we're going to do them one at a time. So the first one, number 1, is it's going to try and do a melee attack with a range of 2. I don't think it's going to be able to get to us. No, it's not.
No.
But it does move 2 towards us. Now, one of the things with this game, which is again slightly different, is it's going to move towards us, and we can choose where we want to move it to, as long as it's moving towards us. So, for example, there's a trap here, and we can, if we want to,
we can lure it.
We can lure it onto that trap. So moving 2, it would either move 1, 2, or it would move 1, 2. Both of those movements are legal, and it will actually bring it closer towards us. So we're going to choose to put it on that space there.
Yes.
So that moves to there, that triggers that trap, and it takes 2 damage. So number 1 has taken 2 damage, but it's out of range, so it actually doesn't go ahead with its attack. Right, Briarwog number 2, again, it's not going to be able to get to us, so it just moves 2.
But we can't get it to go here because it's not close to us.
We can't get it to move away from us.
2.
Right, number 3. Now, the attack has got a range of 2. But we are both 3 away. So whenever there is a tie for who it would attack the closest character. And if there's still a tie, it's going to go for the one with the most health. So Paul's character actually has 13 health, and I've only got 9. So in this case, unfortunately, we can't get it to go onto the trap and attack me, because it's actually going to target you.
So it gets closer to me.
So it moves closer to you, which means also, unfortunately, it is no longer on my deep shadow space.
Yeah.
So it's not going to get the penalty. Well, that didn't work, did it?
Shame.
But what it's going to do now is it's going to do an attack of 2. Now, whenever the monsters attack, you also roll the dice, and they have their own affinity table. So that's just a dim dice. So it's just 2 damage. Each player has their own little tracker for their own health. So Paul has taken 2 damage. Down to 11. Right. Finally, Briarwog number 4. I think it's just going to move 2 towards you. But I think we can get it to go onto that trap.
Yeah. I think so too.
Number 4 takes 2 damage. Right. That's the Briarwogs done. Now we do the Grove Tender. So the Grove Tender is doing a soothing pollen. So it's going to heal, and the range is 0 to 4. So it will heal the most, or the one with the least health, the ally, which could be itself, with the least health.
So it's got 7.
Is it the least health? West, tell me, is it the least health or the one that's taken the most damage? Because there is a difference.
Yeah.
The least health is Briarwog number 1 or Briarwog number 4. They are the ones with the least health, but they have only taken 2 damage, and the Grove Tender has taken 3. So West will tell me whether it's healing itself or the Briarwog. But either way, what it's doing is it's healing them for 2, and then it is placing one of its own markers. West says, taken the most damage. Okay, it's taken the most damage, so it's going to heal itself, because it's taken 3.
That's a shame.
All
that work.
All that work. Right. But it's also placing a token under itself.
Of these.
And that is the good token. So yeah, it's that one.
Okay.
So the enemies are going to be placing these tokens on the board too. If it's a player token, it will have the player icon in the middle of the token, and it does a specific thing based on what's on their character. The enemy ones, the good one means the next time it does an attack, it gets +2 damage, and the bad one means the next time it does an attack, it gets -2 damage. So that's what the enemy ones do. So there's a soothing pollen there. That's going to be dangerous next turn. when that attacks us. Can you move it off that space, maybe?
Yeah, I can try to do that.
Okay, and then we have the boss. Now, the other rule about the boss in this scenario is if you attack the boss from an adjacent space, then after attacking it, you take 2 damage. Ouch. Right, it's doing a melee attack at range 1 to 4. Neither of us are within 4, so it doesn't, which means because there's an arrow, it doesn't do the bottom bit either. So the boss does nothing. Thankfully, the boss does nothing. Tyvan's popped into chat. Thank you very much, Tyvan, for popping in. Tyvan is the lead designer of the game, so really appreciate you being here. Hopefully West has taught us the correct rules. We will find out. But no, I really appreciate you being here, and yeah, good job with the game.
One thing I need to remember.
Yes.
The next turn is that I want to use my react.
Completely
because
forgot.
I could have got a shield against one of those attacks.
Well, we'll say you did it. Yeah, we'll say you did it.
Okay, I can do a react before you are attacked.
Yeah, so Paul had a card.
Gain 1 shield for that attack.
Yeah.
And I would have got 1
Extra
random
ether.
ether.
Yeah, always try to make sure you use your react if you can. Okay. And Paul had one which says before you are attacked, he basically gets a shield for that attack, and he also gets an ether. My reacts, I wasn't able to use them. Because one of them is after an enemy suffers 3 or more damage. I assume that's from a single attack. Nobody took 3 or more damage from a single attack. And the other one is after an enemy ends its movement adjacent to you. Neither of those happened, so I didn't get to trigger them. That's the end of the first round. So we're going to remove one of these cubes, and we are now going to go. Your react things comes up, and we go to round 2. So it's our go.
Right.
So the situation is that there is a beneficial token underneath the growth tender. Which
so we need to move him off.
Yeah, if we don't, it's going to get +2 on its next attack. Now, we could, if we wanted to, start looking at the possibilities that it could do. And as long as we are outside of range 4, it won't be able to hit us with that if it does that. This and this is a melee attack, which means it will move off its space.
Yeah.
And again, this thematically, this sort of explains the knowledge that our characters have of this particular type of monster. Reaction cards don't flip. No, reaction cards do flip. Thank you. Paul forgot to flip his card. Yeah, there you go. We're good.
Okay.
So we could just move out so that we're 5 away. Now, problem is it's in the middle of the board, so that might mean yeah.
I can move it 1, so I can move it off the spot.
Yeah.
I can use seize, which forces him to move.
I mean, can you seize this one to move it onto this trap, and then knock the traps out of the way?
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Do you want to go first then?
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I'm going to use seize, my first ability.
Yep.
To move one enemy within 3.
Yep.
Force it to move and move.
Okay.
To there.
So that's the other trap gone. So what number was that?
Number 3.
Number 3 takes 2 damage. Okay.
Okay.
Now you've got
I've got lots of ether here.
And each of these both of these 2 characters have a maximum ether pool of 3. I assume that will increase over the course of the campaign, and the other characters might be different, but Paul has his maximum amount of ether. So are you going to do one of your...
Well, I'm thinking that I might do this. I don't have fire, but I do have a strong attack. Can I get that attack off? Which is 2 damage to 2 enemies if I was here.
Now remember what we learned this afternoon. There can only be 1 token on a space. So that Grove Tender is on a space with a token that's beneficial
to us.
Him.
Oh, to him.
If you were to be able to put another token on that space, like fire, for example, it would remove that token and replace it with a fiery one.
Ah, okay. I could use Ruthless Assault.
Which is exactly what West has said.
Is it?
I got there first.
Okay,
One idea.
Ruthless Assault. Use my flames.
Do you want to pop it here and we'll show people?
Yeah.
If this is what you do. So this is a rave ability.
I won't be able to do it yet.
And it's going to cost 2 ether. Now that icon, remember, is anything.
I will need to move first.
Yeah. So he's got 3 ether in his pool. It's going to cost 2 of them. But what it's going to do is a melee attack 2 damage at range 1. If he had a fire, so if one of the 2 ether that he spent was fire, it would actually deal 1 extra damage. But it's also going to put that token, which is not that, it's a different icon. Yep. It's going to put a fire token. What's it called? It's on the next page.
It's called Leaping Flames.
Leaping Flames. It's going to put a Leaping Flames token on that space. And then after doing that, you then do another melee attack at range 1 and put another Leaping Flames on the board. So basically, you're going to be putting these Leaping Flame tokens on the board. Now, I mentioned to you about 10 minutes ago that a couple of these tokens are persistent, and that is a persistent one.
Yep.
So those flames are actually going to stay there for the rest of the scenario, and anybody who ends their turn on a space with the Leaping Flames will suffer 1 damage.
Bearing in mind I've got the ability to push him around.
Yes.
And it gets past the shields.
It gets past the shields.
It would be good, wouldn't it?
Seems
so what I want to think about Ruthless Assault then, I need to move into range.
Because it's going to be a melee, yeah.
Yeah, it's a melee. So I'm going to use my Skitter.
Okay.
I don't think no, that's going to generate fire. I need to use that, so I need to use Skitter.
Skitter. So you can move 4.
Move 4 now.
Where do you want to move to? Do you want to move too far? Or?
I'm thinking I might get in the middle of these.
Okay.
And then
just surround yourself with the brambles.
Yeah, just go hide in the brambles, really. Yeah, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna go in here.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
And then I'm going to use Ruthless Assault, which is I'm going to use 2 ether.
So what you do is you actually put the ether dice onto the card.
Yeah,
now, this is important, and you'll see why in a minute.
Yeah.
And now you get to do a melee attack, range 1, and it generates Leaping Flames. So we're going to remove that token, and we're going to replace it with
Leaping Flames. And my attack is modified by fire -1.
Minus 1 water. So
never mind. So that's 1. So that's 1 attack.
So it's
however,
minus the 1 shield.
That's an attack.
So it's an attack. So it's no damage.
Yeah, it's no damage. However, it is going to.
But the Leaping Flames has gone there.
Yeah.
And then you get to do another attack.
Another one,
which could be on a different space, but there isn't anything else.
Nothing melee, is there? Yeah, I could have gone there maybe, but never mind.
You attack again.
And I attack him again.
Right, that's a nothing symbol. So, oh no, it isn't. It's a symbol. It's another minus 1. Oh, so again, no damage. But the Leaping Flames goes on there again.
Leaping Flames. Yeah. Okay. What would have been more sensible? I'm not going to backtrack, but I probably could have gone there
and hit both.
And then hit both of them. I'm going to one, then the other, because I've got 2 Leaping Flames on the board.
You would have done. Never mind.
Next time.
Never mind.
And then this.
What happens is the dice then go into the infused ether, and then the card flips. Now, the reason why we've done it like that is 2 reasons. The first thing is we've mentioned that you can use equipment on your turn, but to use non-consumable items, consumable items, you just use them and they're gone, but non-consumable items require ether to power them, but that ether must be infused. In other words, you cannot use dice from your ether pool for your equipment. You can only use dice that have already been infused. And the dice don't go into the infused ether area until after the card has finished resolving. So if you had a piece of equipment that you wanted to use, you couldn't use it with the dice that you are just spending. You could only use it afterwards. Mm-hmm. The second reason is it's a reminder to flip the card over. So whenever you take dice off a card, it reminds you to flip the card over, which you've now done.
Yep. So that's my turn.
That's your turn. You've done your 2 abilities. You've done your...
Wasn't great that time. Not such a good one.
What am I going to do? I mean, this one is down to 3 health, so there's a potential that I could maybe kill it. Mm-hmm. Maybe if I roll better than I have been doing. I've got this. I think I'm going to do this.
It's Bell Tolls.
Yeah, I think I'm going to play Bell Tolls. So this card here is a Rave card, so I need to basically spend 2 ether to do it. It's a ranged attack with a range of 2 to 4 that's going to deal 3 damage, and it's going to put deep shadows onto the space, which means they're going to get a penalty when they attack. If I had a water ether, then I would gain an extra damage. I don't have a water ether, so... But I think I'm still going to do this. So I'm going to do this first, and I'm going to spend these 2 dice on it. So I am doing a ranged attack on Briarwog number 3.
Yep.
Dice. My dice. And that is +1.
Yes.
I finally rolled good.
Good.
So
Well
that's
done.
4, so that's gone. That has gone. And then at the end, those dice go over there. The card flips over. Right, so that's my card done.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of wish I'd attacked the road tender with that, but never mind. Now, have you been hit?
I have. Yeah, I'm down.
Now,
At
we
11
learned
health.
from this afternoon's scenario that
We
you
need to
can get hit
keep-
quite a lot in this.
Yeah. Keep one another
But,
alive.
but we also need to
I'm
be
okay
getting,
at the moment.
we need to be getting hit.
We need, yeah, we need to be dealing the damage.
So I'm going to bound, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I mean, do I want to go in my own space?
would it
I mean, that's
benefit
my
you?
space. No, it's a bad one.
Okay, it's a bad one for you.
It's the bad one. So I don't want to go on there.
No.
And then I'm going to ambush. So it's 2 damage on that one. Fire, -1. 1 damage on
Damage. Number 1.
number 1. I'm back to my usual dice rolling tricks. Michael says, shadow token from Paul's attack. Ah, yes, that's right. I did. Yes, it should have
Place
put
the
one of
shadow.
my shadow tokens on that space. Thank you. Now, where was it?
Was it the one you were firing at?
It was the one I was firing at. No, the one that I killed. I can't remember. I think it was there. Maybe it was there. Either way, I'm not going to go into that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we're good. I think so. I'm just gonna.
I'm just thinking this guy's going to walk off, isn't he?
That's going to hit me.
If he does it.
If he does that, it's going to hit me. Either way, it's going to stay where it is. So I think we're good. Because we want it to stay where it is.
We do. Because we want it to stay on that flame
Yeah.
to get damage.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So, monsters time.
Yeah.
Off you go. Roll that, and
Here
we'll
we go.
see
The briar
what
was
the Briarwog's going to do. So we've rolled the dice.
2.
We've rolled
Gonna
a 2,
move-
which means it moves along 2, and that is what it's going to do. So all the Briarwogs are going to move 2. They want to do a melee attack, but they are targeting all enemies within 2.
So they'll try to move to get to 2
And they will
enemies.
try to move to get
Right.
so that they can attack as many enemies as
Yep.
possible. The attack does 1 damage, but it pushes 2 away. That's
Ouch.
push 2.
You don't want to be doing that.
Right. So number 1,
Mhm.
where it is, it can hit me. Number 1 is here. It can hit me, but it can't hit you. So it's going to move to here,
Yeah.
which means it can now hit both of us.
Yes.
So this one, I'm within 2, and that's within 2. So it's going to hit both of us.
Yeah.
So we roll the damage separately. So on me, it's dealing me 1 damage. And it's rolled a leaf, which is -1, so I take no damage. And you've rolled that, which is +1, so you take 2 damage.
2 damage.
And then it's push 2. Now, as long as you're moving away from it, you can kind of choose where you go.
That's interesting.
So you don't want to get pushed into the thorns, so you want to go there. And then you can either go there or there.
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Something we just need to remember
Uh-huh.
is I've got press the advantage before. I won't do it now, but before I'm attacked, I can attack
You
back.
could have attacked back.
I could have attacked back.
Yes, you could have attacked
there
that one.
because
Yeah.
never mind.
Never mind.
That's fine.
Okay, so that's number 1 done. Oh, the enemies will force you onto the bad spaces.
Ooh.
Oh, sorry, I thought we could. I thought we could choose.
Wow.
In which case, you take a damage for being pushed through the brambles. You still go through the brambles and out the other side. but-
Okay. Yeah. One more.
Oh, I didn't realise that.
Ouch. Ouch. These brambles.
So they are clever.
Oh yeah. I thought they were dumb enemy. I can't say it. Dumb enemies. There we go.
Right. Briarwog number 2 is over here. Now, it can get to within 2 of you, but it can't get to within 2 of me.
Yeah.
But again, we could get it to move on to there, I believe.
Yeah, it's moving towards me.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, since I've just been pushed into it,
You
I've just
can
been pushed through the
lure
brambles.
it onto there.
We're going to lure it onto this bramble.
So it takes a damage. and then it attacks you for 1.
Is it modified by?
Modified by -1. So no damage.
No damage, thankfully.
But you are pushed away 2.
Okay.
Now, I think that has to be directly... Oh, no, it doesn't have to be directly back.
It could be...
As long as each space is moving you further away.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 4. Moves 1 towards you. And also attacks you. Same again. You've been pushed
I couldn't have got away, could I? Because it would have moved here.
Yeah, it would have moved there, yeah. That's nothing, so that's just 1 damage.
It's 1 damage. I've taken some clobbering.
Now, you being pushed away now, I believe, could be here.
Yeah, that's further away.
It's further away from it,
Yeah, it
but
is.
it's actually bringing you
back
into the fight.
That's good, yeah.
I think we can do that. I think that's right.
Okay.
Next
Good.
is the Grove Tender.
Here he is.
So I've rolled a 3,
Oof.
which means the Grove Tender is doing this. So it's moving 4, and then it's doing a melee attack, targeting one thing within range 1, and dealing 4 damage.
Don't like the look of this.
Now, it can move to attack you, or it can move to attack me. The first tiebreaker is closest, which unfortunately is you, and it means it's moving off the fiery space. We planned this so well.
So well.
And it's all gone wrong.
It's because we got pushed away.
Yeah.
If we were still there, it would have attacked me and stayed on the space.
Now, do you want to use your react?
I think I'm going to do that this time I am. So I'm going to press the advantage. Okay, before you're attacked, I can do melee attack 1.
If you were to spend fire.
And if I would spend fire, if I had fire, it would have been this stripped blade. But it's 1. It's 1, but it's got a shield.
So nothing. Okay, that flips over. And now it's hitting you for 4. 4. Ouch.
Wow. I'm down to 3 health. We are in round 2. We said we were going to win.
Apparently, this scenario is easy.
We said we were going to win.
And then the boss. So the boss, it's moving 1 space. So the boss is going to here. So it's doing a ranged attack, range 2 to 5, doing 2 damage. Now, is anything within range 2 to 5? I don't think it is. No.
No.
So, but it's not just, it's actually this. If you look carefully, yeah, it's actually one of these area of effects, and that is the target space. Now, the target space doesn't have to contain a person. The target space could contain anything. And then it's the 2 spaces adjacent to it. So we need to look to see.
That's
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which still wouldn't get you.
No.
So it doesn't attack. Okay, so we got out of that one. But that is the end of round 2.
Does it place the dart?
I don't believe so, because it didn't do the attack.
Okay. Right. Ouch, that hurt.
Right, we need to get you healed.
Yeah.
And we need to do other stuff as well.
Okay.
I'm going to try and get rid of number 1, because that one is quite badly damaged. Although I know I don't have any ether now.
During my turn,
I
could...
I mean, I can heal you. We need to be...
I'm going to use Soothing Salve anyway, which is going to give me 3 health.
Okay, so let's pop that on the big screen and we'll show that. So this is a piece of equipment. This is a consumable item, so it's going to go. And it's a positive effect that will restore 3 health to somebody, either 0 to 1. In other words, yourself or an ally that is adjacent. So, Paul, you're going to drink this. It's not an action to do that. You just get 3 health back.
Right.
And that's it. That card's gone. You're going to have to buy some.
Have to buy some more.
Buy some more.
Soothing Salves. Okay.
And that's during your turn.
During my turn. So I'm taking my turn.
Turn.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I jumped in there, didn't I?
That's all right.
Okay. So the other thing I can do is I would need to have some dim infused for this, I think. So what I'm going to do is force...
Get you some more ether, don't we?
Yeah, I need to force... I can force him back, I think, because that will also damage him. So I'm going to use Seize again.
Again?
So it's really good, this, because I can force him to move back and do the damage against the shield.
So, takes the damage.
Yeah. Okay. I
Do you
can.
want to hit it before that?
Before I moved it, that would probably be better, wouldn't it? I can do I can do strike, and I could do.
Yeah. So before you do that,
Yeah. I'm just wondering whether I ought to do this settling groundwork to give me some more health.
I think so.
For this one, so I'm going to do strike first.
Okay.
Right?
So strike.
So strike first.
2 damage.
Two
at range
damage. Range 1.
minus its armor.
And that's -1.
So no damage.
Never mind.
Never mind. Then you move it.
Then I'm going to move it.
It takes the damage.
Take the damage. Then I'm going to
Put
do.
you with a big tough fight.
Oh no! I'm supposed to be the up in the face fighter. True scale. Settling groundwork. I'm going to heal myself for 2.
Yeah. Heal self for 2 and generate a random. ether.
Random. Okay, so that
Okay.
goes there. Heal myself for 2. Generate a random.
You got some there if you want.
Oh, yeah, I've got some there.
Leaf.
Okay, leaf.
Right.
Me.
And you did your card and you flipped your
I did
card
my card,
over.
flipped my card.
You've done your things.
Yep.
And you've got your react ready to go.
I've got the react.
Okay, so I think. Are you within 3 of me? You're not within 3 of me. That's a shame.
I'm on 8. You're on 9. Not too bad.
Yeah. I know I definitely need some stuff. So I think I'm going to bound. And I think I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to use my invigorate. So heal 2 on somebody within 0 to 3.
Thank
so
you
you
very
get 2
much.
back.
Thank you.
That flips that card over, and I gain an ether. Got some more of this morph. I like morph.
Morph.
So I've done my card. I've done 1 ability. I've got another ability, which will be ambush. So 2 damage. I'm just going to deal it on Briarwog number 1.
Yeah.
It's 2 damage, so it's down to 1 health. Now, I have some boots. I can use any of these ether dice to use my boots. Each one I use allows me to move 1 space. But if it's the gold swirly symbol, I move 2.
Yeah.
I've also got this, but I think I'm going to save that.
Yes, 1 off. Don't forget.
I think I'm going to save that. But one of the benefits of using this is it actually generates ether. So it's a way that I can generate ether on my turn if I needed one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we're done.
Right.
Right, off
Here
we go.
Here comes Briarwalk number 1.
So it goes 2. So 1, 2, and it's doing the thing that it did at the very start. So number 1 is going to
Jump 2.
Well, it's got a range. It's doing a melee attack at a range of 2. So it doesn't need to move.
Doesn't need move.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pulling me into its space. Ugh.
No.
The fiery brambles.
Pulling it into the fire.
It's going to pull me into the fiery brambles. This wasn't a good plan.
No.
Why did I go there?
Why did I put fire in? Why did I set it alight?
Okay, so it's 2 damage to me. But then, unfortunately, yes, it pulls me 1, and I end up on the fiery brambles. I think basically this is like a comedy episode where 2 heroes go into a fight, and the audience is watching and just laughing at them as they come up with these big
They are.
and I'm like, set those bushes on fire and then pull the enemies into it. And what actually happens is that we get pulled into it, and I'm there going, what's going
Come on. Where's the water?
Yeah, we're learning from this.
Right, okay.
It's a learning experience.
Right.
Character building.
Okay.
That's Briarwog number 1.
Yeah, number 2. He's going to do a similar. Okay, so he's actually
attack me.
able to attack you from where he is.
He's going to attack me.
But he's going to pull you out of the flame.
Yeah, which thankfully,
Which is good.
that's no different. So that's 2 damage.
2 more
I'm down
damage.
to 4.
He pulls you towards him.
Yeah, thank you. And then number 4.
4.
Now, I'm 1, 2, 3, 4 away. You're 1, 2, 4 away, but you've got more health
I
than me.
got 10, yeah.
Yeah.
You're on 4, are you now?
Leaf. -1.
That's 1.
So you only take 1 damage.
Okay.
Well, it moves towards you. And it's 1 damage, and you're pulled towards it. So where would you like to be pulled towards it?
Well, I probably want to be doing this.
You didn't use your shield.
I didn't use the shield. No, I forgot. It was silly. Yeah, I used it. But I'm probably going to use it against the Rove tender. Okay, I think I'll go here.
But if you were to be pulled to the space adjacent to it, then if it was to do this, it couldn't actually attack us.
Because
it's range 2 to 4, and we're both range 1, and it doesn't move.
Yeah, well, now I'll go there. Good idea. Good idea. Facing off. Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of them done.
Yep.
Now, Grove Tender, you want to roll? We want a 2.
Do really want to this?
We want a 2.
Okay.
We've got a 1.
The 1.
It's okay. It's doing a soothing pollen. So it's going to heal the thing that's taken the most damage within range 4.
Me.
Which is, it's us. So it heals this one for 2. So Briarwog number 1 has healed for 2.
Yeah.
And got a positive condition underneath it. So the next time it attacks, it's going to deal plus 2 damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
This is not going to plan.
No. And then the boss.
Here we go. 2.
Right. This is a ranged attack, range 2 to 5.
Uh-oh. This is not good.
I'm within 5, aren't I?
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're within 4.
It's 4 damage. With fire. So no modifiers. So it's 4 damage. Guess how many I'm on?
Oh, no. Don't tell me. 4.
I'm on 4. I'm now on 0. And an icy token gets placed on my space, which means the next time I move out of there, I lose 2 movement points. However, I have now been knocked out. I'm on 0 health.
Yeah.
So when you're on 0 health, you basically can't do anything, and you need to wait for the other character to use a powdered Dracane consumable to revive you. Now, there's a special thing with this card, is that it's restore 2 health, but only if you're on 0. It won't heal 2 normally. And I believe you can't use a normal healing. I believe it has to be this to
When you're
revive
knocked
somebody.
out. Okay. Okay.
And until then, I don't actually get to do anything. Matt's got a very good suggestion. Thank you, Matt. He said, when we're attacked, duck.
Yes. Got it. Why haven't we doing that?
I mean,
okay,
4 years at college on how to use a bow, and nobody told me how to do it.
I'm holding up my stripped blade, and it's just going straight past.
To be fair, that was adhesive bile.
You don't want to be stuck with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're laying in it.
Okay, how about round 3?
Wow. Are we going to reach the round?
Help! Help!
Okay.
Help! Now, if you do heal me,
reset. Yeah, I need to get to you first.
then I do get to take a turn.
Yeah, I think that's only fair.
I've not
You've
used
been
any
doing,
of my
you've been doing a
reactions.
lot of healing, so for me. So the first thing I'm going to do is make sure I can do that. Now, I do have Blast Step. It's a shame I haven't got fire. I can't create fire with this, because I need dim.
You need fire for your stripped blade as well, don't you?
I do, yeah. So I need to generate fire. I can generate fire using Blast Step. It just gives me the movement, so I can do movement. I can't really get the extra movement. I don't need the extra movement. I could come here, all right, which gets me the fire for next turn.
Right.
Do you see what I mean?
Yep.
I could actually attack that, but I'll do this first. So I'm going to use Blast
So it's
Step.
3.
Jump 3. I just go.
Don't land on the fiery bush.
No, I'm not going to get away from the fire bush.
Okay.
Okay. Generate fire.
Generates fire.
One of these.
Go on.
Yep.
Okay.
I've now got fire, which is good. And that flips over. Okay. Now I can use my powdered Draken.
Thank you. So I get 2 health.
You get 2 health. That disappears.
I'll buy you a new one at the shop.
Lovely. Thank you. And now I've got an opportunity to either push. How far can I push that man? I can push him 2. I've used my skill.
You've used your skill. You've got your abilities left.
Okay. So I'm going to do. I'm going to push him away, or I could just attack. It's not really good for attack. I can get one more Get one more here. Do you know what? I think I'm just going to try the strike. This, when I use it, has to be infused.
Has to be fire. Yeah, it's got to be infused.
Infused first. Okay. And he's got 8 health. It's not worth using this yet. Okay, I think in that case I'm going to.
Why didn't you, rather than going there, go there? And let's leave the Grove Tender, and let's just hit the other things and try and get rid of it. Because you had jump 3, didn't you?
I had jump. Make sure I got the right one.
And where were you?
What was it? It's blast step. It was jump 3. Yes, I was here. So I could go 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
I could go there.
Should we say you did that?
Still revive you the same.
Yeah.
And now I've gotten a bit. Yeah. Okay. Now I can use strike, can't I?
And you could use your sling knife if we needed it. But I'm stood back up anyway.
Yeah, you're up. I'm going to do strike. I'm going to do 2 damage. Which one's got the least? Number 1.
Well, we want to try and get rid of number 1.
Yeah.
That's
so
the one
number
that's
1,
got the,
which is for number 1, and that's 0. So
it's 2 damage.
2 damage.
2 damage.
Okay. Ooh. After you attack, I can push.
Is that going to help?
Not, is it? It's a shame. I was looking at the fiery furnace.
Yeah.
It's not going to help in this case, is it?
No.
It gets me ether, but I don't need it just yet. No, okay. That's fine.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'll do...
Although, that's a good recommendation. Push it off this token. And then I will go on to that token.
That's good.
Yeah.
Or push, yes, okay. Or I could push this onto there.
And it would kill it.
At the end of its turn?
No. It would kill it because it's brambles.
Kill it because it's brambles.
It's not just...
Okay, so what do you want to do? Do you want the extra attack? It'll go anyway. If I use this, I'll use C's. Force him to move 1.
You push it onto there and it dies from the brambles.
Okay. Fire is persistent, so that stays there. Okay, that's done. That's me done. Well, it's a bit longer, but that's right.
That's okay. But now we're in the position. So I'll go bound, and I'll go to here, and now I'm going to get
+2 attack.
+2 on my next attack because of the soothing pollen.
Yeah.
From the Grove Tender. But I think I'm going to go for... Well, should I go for the boss or should I go for this Briarwog? I'm not sure now. I might go for the Briarwog. Yeah, we'll go for the Briarwog. We'll go for this one.
Yep.
I think you can fire through your friends.
Line of sight.
I will try and find an answer quickly before the designer tells me the answer, but is line of sight through other people? Yes, you can. I answered it quickly. Right. So, I'm going to shoot.
Yep.
Duck.
Yeah, I'm ducking.
It's 4 damage. Still
hanging in there.
That's the token used.
Okay. It's worth doing. Definitely worth
doing. Now, I've still got my skill. I haven't used a skill and I haven't used my equipment, so I'm going to use a soothing salve to get 3 health back.
Yeah.
So I'm on 5. Now the question is, do I use a healing card? Oh, hang on. After an enemy has suffered 3 or more damage.
Yeah, works. Yeah. Well done.
I remembered. Get some leaf.
Nice.
That's that done. So I've reacted. So I've still got one of these to use. So I've got here 1 damage. Which if I roll that or that is no damage.
Mm.
Whereas this is healing.
You need the healing, don't you?
Well, I need it. Do you need it?
What are you 9. I'm 9 at the moment.
I'm on 5. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do Lifeblood.
Yeah.
So I'll just show you Lifeblood on the big screen. This is my powerful healing card. It's going to cost me an ether to use. It heals 3. Anybody within 0 to 3. But if I use that particular
Morph.
ether. Morph, yeah, it's an extra 1 healing, and that's what I have. I have one of those, so I'm going to do that. So I get 4 healing, and I'm going to put one of my positive tokens down as well. So that's pretty good.
That's very good.
So that's going to flip over. That's going to go there. I get 4 back. I'm on full. I'm back to 9 health, and I'm going to place one of my positive tokens under me. So my positive tokens are that whenever I do an attack, or the next time I do an attack, I get +1 damage, and I also heal myself for 1.
Nice. So ideally, you want to stay there for a minute.
Yeah, because it's +1 damage. Now I've got these boots, so I've done that, but I could step off there.
Are they made for walking?
They are. They're made for running. If I wanted to, I could actually use this now on my boots. So we need to look at what the enemies are doing, because if it does this, it's going to hit both of us. If it does that, it's going to hit both of us. Although I've just put that down,
I'm thinking about running away.
I'm thinking about running away.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to use 2 of these dice, and once you use the dice from your infused ether, they go back to the pool to use my boots. So basically, you can use your equipment as many times as you want.
Yep.
And yeah, I get to move 2 spaces away. So I'm going to move to there. Is that going to help? We'll see.
Yeah, depends how far it moves.
We'll see. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we're done.
Okay.
Briarwogs. It's doing that. Right. So it's jumping 3, and it's doing a melee attack.
Range 1.
It doesn't need to. It stays where it is, and it attacks you for 2.
Okay, hang on. I'm reacting. Before you attack, gain a shield.
Gain a shield. And you gain an ether as well.
And I gain a random ether.
Now, you can go above your ether limit temporarily. At the end of your turn, you have to discard down to your limit.
Which is 3.
It's that, which is 2 damage, minus your shield.
1 damage.
Is 1. Right. Number 4, which is here. That's going to move 3. Now.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm 6 away, you're 1, 2, you're 4 away. So it's going to... It can move 3, and it will move 3.
Can we drop it on top of the ice?
It goes on top of the ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it moves on top of the ice, and it's going to attack you from there. 2 damage. Fire, -1.
1 damage.
So 1 damage. That's not bad.
No, that's too bad.
Right.
That's okay.
The Grove Tender. Oop. Roll the 1. Grove Tender is doing this. Right, the Grove Tender is doing a ranged attack. Now, you're... Yeah, it's you.
Yeah.
Or is it you? Yeah, you're 2 away, I'm 3 away.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, no, it's 2 attacks. Yeah, so...
2 targets.
Yeah,
right.
the Grove Tender's toxic spores
Yes.
are 2 targets, and it ignores defense, it ignores shields.
Yeah.
So we're both going to get hit by it.
Okay. Attack 2.
Okay. West says, didn't you react and get a shield? He did react, but only to the first one. So
yes, and I gained a shield for the attack,
Yeah.
but then...
He reacted against number 2, but he couldn't react against number 4 because he'd already used his attack. And you did calculate it, didn't you? I think. Yeah, I think we got it right.
Yeah, I did, yeah. Okay.
So we're both being attacked by 2.
Mine's a minus
That's
one.
-1.
So 1 to me.
And I'm 2. I'm going to 7.
And 6.
Okay, we did it correctly. Yep.
Yeah.
And now the boss. It's 2. 1, 2. It's doing that venomous splatter, so it's a good job we're not next to each other. So you're 3 away, I'm 4 away. So it's going for you.
Yeah.
So 2 damage.
2 damage.
Yeah, 2 damage. And you've got a negative condition on your space, which is the deep shadows. So when you do an attack from that space, you get -2 damage.
Right.
We survived. That's round 4.
Wow.
Okay, what's our plan? Briarwog number 2 only has 1 health left.
I've got a coordinated assault, which will attack both 2 and 4, but I'm in a position which is giving me -2.
You are. We need to get that token out of the way, or we need to move
Or
you.
I need to do my skitter first.
Just run around the back of them.
Run,
That'd be fun.
Run round.
Yeah.
Yeah, run round and then do this.
Yeah.
Run
Okay.
round.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Then I fire.
Let's pop that card on here. Let's have a look at it.
Coordinated.
Okay, so it's going to cost you 3 dice to use.
Yeah.
And if one of them is fire, then you also get to push.
One of them.
Is that going to help?
I can push number 4 onto the flames.
It might do.
Yeah, because number 4's got 4 health.
Well, you might want to use your fire because
That could do that.
this is the equipment card.
But that has to be
That Paul has.
Yeah.
So anytime he does an attack, he can spend any amount of fiery ether from his infused ether pool. Remember, you can't spend it from the left-hand side of your board. You can only spend it from the right to gain +1 damage. So, yeah, so you can't actually use this.
No, but I could do strike afterwards.
With that. Right, okay, yeah. Got it.
Okay, so coordinated assault. So I'm going to use the fire on this one as well.
And 2 of them.
And 2 other, and I might as well use those 2. That's fine.
So pop them on the
put
card.
them on the card. Okay.
So it's an attack of 2.
So it's an attack of 2.
And now it's not got a range on it because it's actually hitting 2 adjacent things. So which 2 things are you going to hit? You're going to go for both.
I'm going to go for both of these 2, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So which one first?
Okay, number 4 first.
Number 4 first. 2 damage.
+1.
3 damage.
3 damage.
On 1.
Right, and I've used fire.
So you can push it.
So I can push it onto the fire.
Which is the thorny bush.
The thorny bush
So-
kills him. Nice.
Nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, now I'm attacking number 2
Yeah.
with
It's 2 damage.
2
So,
damage.
There you go.
That's the way to do work.
That's how you do it.
Right, nice.
Easy.
Then I expend those.
And then in addition to that, there's also,
Oh yes, here
a
we go.
ranged
Story.
attack.
Oh yeah, this is interesting. Look.
unfortunately,
I'm not in.
you're not in a position to do it. Oh,
Never mind.
never mind.
Oh, because I could also have done
It wasn't
this.
quite a coordinated attack.
Never mind. The coordination's left me. Never mind.
But look at that.
That was pretty good though.
It is pretty good.
Well, I'll go for that. Because now I can use strike.
And now you can use the
And
fire
I can use
from
the
here
fire from here to boost
the
that. So, so basically, I'm going to use strike.
Yeah.
Which is attack 2 with
fire on the sword for
fire on
an
the
extra
sword
one,
for an
so it's
extra
3.
1.
And then that dice goes back into the pool.
And it's +1.
4.
4 minus a shield.
3 damage.
3 damage.
Well, there you go. Took us a while to get
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
We were just warming up.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah.
it's for the
Good.
show. All these dice are manipulated.
It's good.
We're not really here. This is AI generated.
Right.
Okay.
So he's down to 5 health. That's not too bad. We got the baddie to sort out, Mike.
We have the boss. The boss is still on 20 life.
Yeah.
And it's my go, I believe.
Yeah.
And I'm on 7 health. And which of the that's a positive token. Yeah, that's my
That gives you
positive
+2.
token. That is my positive
+1.
ether field.
Okay. And a healing.
So I'm going to move onto that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I am going to might as well do an ambush.
Okay.
So it's 2, but +1. So it's 3 damage,
3 damage.
on the boss. So it's 3.
3 damage.
Yep, 3 damage.
Nice.
And I heal 1,
Nice.
because that's
very
what
good,
my
isn't it?
tokens do. And that's my token
Go on.
used up.
Yeah.
So that's that, and that's that. Next, I've got this. I think I could put that on it. Now, what that does is it's going to put a deep shadow token on it, which means the next time it attacks, it gets -2 damage.
the boss.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to play Miasmic Arrow. I'm going to shoot a Miasmic Arrow at it, which basically just puts the deep shadows on it. 0 to 3. Yep. And I generate some morph.
Should it be that?
No, that's the good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Purple bad, white good.
Right. Okay.
We're done.
Well, we're done.
We are done.
It's Grove Tender.
Grove Tender. See what the Grove Tender's doing.
I'm going to run into the fire by mistake. Is this oriented?
Creeping Roots. So it's a melee attack. It doesn't need to move because it's right next to you. So it hits you for 4.
4.
Yeah.
I've already reacted.
You have already reacted.
I'm on 4. Please be a -1.
No.
It's 4.
So you're on 0.
So I'm on 0. You did bring that
I did.
that powdered Draken with you, didn't you?
Right. And now the boss, the Briarbull.
Okay. 1.
Nice. It's doing a line attack. And
He's missing all of it.
It's missing us.
Right. Good.
Kind of attack. Right. That's the end of the round. Reactions off. So you need help.
Yeah.
Don't really have an option because there's no way I can do this on my own. So
I've got 1.
and we know it's not going to do that again because there's no 4s on the dice. So it will likely do that. Less likely that, and very least likely that, but it won't do this. I've got 1 dice here. I've got 2 here, so I can't do my Devour Prey. I can do my Bell Tolls.
I think I'd do well to do Sling Knife against the Grove Tender by moving away first.
Now, thing is, my bound is only 3. I mean, I do have my Quill Boots. Oh, if only I had. I'm trying to do it in a way that I don't have to use this ability.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I can. I think I've worked out how I can do this.
Okay, well, I'm going to use Settling Groundwork when it's mine to do 2 heal. I'm going to move away using this, or I could actually force it away for 1 that gives me, then I can throw the knife at it.
Okay.
That might work. If I force it to go, I force it to go there, then I've got the option of forcing it the other way.
Okay.
Next turn. That's what I'm going to do.
So I'm going to do Bell Tolls. I'm going to use these 2 dice.
Yeah.
None of them are water, which is unfortunate. And I'm going to do an attack of 3 on the boss. And it's going to put deep shadows on him. There's already deep shadows on him. It's 3. It's 3 damage.
Nice. It's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then those dice go there. That flips over. Okay.
Yes.
I'm then going to use those 2 dice for the boots to move to there.
Get next to me. Nice.
Get next to you. I'm then going to use the powdered Dracane to go, oi, wake up.
Thank you. I've woken up. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I've got my.
Bjorn has got a good suggestion. Put the reaction cards in front so I don't forget them. That's a very good idea.
Isn't it?
That's a very good idea.
Get them in eye shots.
In fact, I might just sellotape mine to my glasses like that so that I don't forget them.
Yeah, don't forget the react. We must be
Wes
reacting
said to
every
us this
turn.
afternoon, he says, make sure
React
you
every
use them
turn.
every time.
Yeah.
So the first 3 turns not reacting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've still got these 2 left.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
So I can use that to heal you for 1.
So you healed me for 2 to start with, didn't you?
I healed you for 2 to go from 0 to 2.
Yeah.
And now I've healed you for another 1.
Thank you.
And do I blow this? See, if we were playing this as a proper campaign, I'd be thinking,
I want to hold on to it.
I want to hold on to it. But
Yeah.
actually, this is just a one-off. So
Today.
So this is interesting because what this does is it not only gives me a water ether or a plant ether, is it plant or life, whatever,
Yeah.
but it also puts a healing circle on my space, which is like the flames, but the opposite. Everything that ends its turn on one of them heals one. And I think I'm going to do it. I am going to do it, and I'm going to gain a water, and I'm going to replace that ice with a nice healing circle, and then at the end of my turn, I'm going to heal one. But I've still got another ability to do.
Yeah.
But I can't do it.
You can't because it's not ranged.
No.
I mean, you can
And I don't want to move off. I'll tell you what, no, that's silly. That's it. Not doing an ability, I think, is silly. So I'm going to leave that there. I will bound, and I'll go 1, 2, 3, and I'll put the thing on my space.
Okay.
And then at the end of my turn, I'll heal 1. I'm at 9. Okay, that's me done. You'll go.
Okay.
It's Earth, but yes, the icon is the leaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to use my settling groundwork. Here it is up here. I can do this first. So I'm healing 2. 1, 2. Then I am going to gain a random ether. Okay.
That's over.
Right.
The abilities.
Got abilities. Now I've got attack.
Boss time
Boss time? You want to go for the boss?
or not?
Oh, well, I can do. What's Grove Tender? I can do Grove Tender
on
on
5.
1. He's on a lot of.
You might be able to get rid of it because you do have your sling knife.
I've got something enough. I need to move away.
Mm.
So I mean, I need to use Skitter and then strike. Well, strike, then Skitter, then this. I can't use this, but I could do that. I mean, that's not too bad. Could get lucky.
Yeah. So
Sure
Paul's bought with him from the shop. Recent purchase, a sling knife. The good thing with this is it isn't like one of your abilities to use. So basically, on your turn, it's a consumable. You can just use it to do a ranged attack with 2 damage, but it pierces armor. And if you remember the armor of
The Grove Tender.
the Grove Tender has 1 armor.
And it's really proving difficult to get by.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to do that. So I am going to move away using Skitter. Or I'll just push him away. Let's do a strike. Do a strike.
Push him away.
Push him away.
Use the sling
Then
knife.
use a sling knife.
Yeah, that works.
That works, doesn't it? Right, so seize to push him this way.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I'm going to do...
strike first.
Sorry, strike first.
Strike first.
I did say that, didn't I?
You did.
Strike first.
So 2 damage.
2 damage. 2 damage.
2 damage. Minus is
Minus
1.
1.
So it takes 1.
Yep. Then I do push away to there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I use
Sling knife.
the sling knife.
Yeah.
Which
So
is
it's a
a
2
range-
damage attack, but not. It goes through armor.
Okay.
Range 2 to 3. That's +1.
Plus 1.
Oh, it's on 1.
3. Yes.
And you've used your skill.
I've used the skill because I used the skill to get my healing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. That's me. That's me. Just down to 1.
So close.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't do anything about that, I'm afraid.
Okay. So the Grove Tender. 3. 1, 2, 3. He's doing that. Now he can't hit both of us.
I'm closest.
Oh, now this is good. I think this is good.
Can we move him through?
So
Can we move him
the
forward?
Grove Tender is doing this. It's on the grey space and it's going to attack everything around him. But basically, he needs to be adjacent to you in order to be able to attack. And if I just press this button and go over here,
Yes. We're going to push him.
I think we can move it to there.
You can, because I'm sitting there going,
I think we're allowed
come to me,
there,
come to me, come to me,
which
come to me.
means
Oh, I'm so sorry.
it takes the damage
Oh,
and it dies.
wow. Thank you, Brambles.
I think.
Yeah, I
Right.
think so.
Boss. 2. 1, 2. So it's attacking me. So it's an attack of 3 at a range of 1 to 4. So I'm taking the attack of 3. -1. So it's 2.
Yeah.
And I'm then pulled 3 towards it.
Oof.
So I'm just going to go there.
Does it?
And then it heals 2 to itself. Because it's...
That's big. Okay. Well, don't worry. I'm in on it next turn. I've got 5 health.
I think at the end of this scenario, the Brambles have gained enough XP to go up to level 3.
Yeah.
They've been better than we have.
They've done some work. They sure have.
Right, that's it. That's the end of round 6.
All right. We've got 2 rounds. The knockout.
It's got 16 health. Okay. Right.
We have to win. We have to win.
This
Come
is-
on. Rally. Right. I've got 2 ether.
Okay.
Now.
And I don't want to attack it from adjacent because doing so is bad. So
Yeah.
I'm going to use...
Now, I can just refresh me.
Yeah.
I can move the bot. Oh, non-boss enemy. No,
Yeah.
my intrusive thought
Yeah,
is non-boss.
bosses cannot
Yeah.
be... You can push and pull them,
Yeah, I
but
can't
you
move
can't
him.
force them to perform movement with that.
No.
I'm going to use this dice on my quill boots to move to here.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to ambush. So it's 2 damage on the boss. And I've rolled crooks, which is -1. But it's still 1.
Still
it
1.
doesn't have armour, so
Yeah.
it's on 15. So that's that done. I'm then... I'm then going to do this. Passing nil. 1 damage at range 2 to 3. I forgot. Sorry, but it had the deep shadows on. So when it hit me, I should have taken 2 fewer damage.
Oh,
So I don't
2
think it did
fewer.
any. Yeah,
right. Okay.
yeah. My deep shadows is -2 damage. So I did forget that, but
Okay.
we're all good now. So 1 damage at range 2 to 3. I've rolled a leaf. 0. 1 damage.
Yep.
It's 1 damage. And I'm putting an ice on its space, which is irrelevant because it doesn't move. But it's cold. And I generate water. So I've got some water ether, and I flip the card over. It's going to cost 3. That's fine. That's fine. We're all good. And I've got this. Are you within 3? You know.
No, I'm not.
And I don't think I want to move. Although if I do move...
We don't want to be in a line, do we, in case it does a water spout?
I'm 2 away.
And we don't want to be together.
If I move, I will be 5 away, and it's still going to get me with that. So I'm just not going to move. Yeah.
Okay.
And I heal 1 at the end of my turn, which I don't need to do.
Right.
In fact, are you...
I'm on 5.
Okay, well, maybe I will move. Because if I move off this space and you move onto it, you'll heal 1 at the end of your turn. And you can go 1, 2, 3. Oh, no, you can't.
No, I
can
can't.
you?
It's 4.
Okay, that's fine. We'll stay there.
Okay.
Yeah, any debuffs for extra damage on a target? I don't. No. Not with the cards that I've got. I mean, I've got Incant, which puts a buff on my space, which deals me an extra 1 damage. That might be the thing to do next time. Right, what you going to do?
Okay.
You're melee, aren't you? So you're going to have to get in there.
I have to get in there. But I'm thinking I can do 1 damage with this, can't I? Because I can force it back into the flood.
No, you can't. That should be non-boss.
That should be non-boss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that West said earlier on this afternoon that bosses can't be forced to
with
move.
C's. Right, okay.
So I think C's just need some wording on to say non-boss.
In that case, I need to get in, as you say.
Yeah.
I need to move close. Well,
which is your big attack?
Well, it's not there. I've got one big attack here, but
Yeah.
it's for it to attack an ally. But it's
Oh no, that's
it's
no good.
no good. It's on the other side. So I've got sweeping cleave, which would have done 2 enemies. The others are underneath.
Okay.
I think it's that's the range.
Oh, you have a ranged attack then.
I've got a range there.
That's quite good.
If I can get that into play.
Yeah.
I can get that into play by playing this.
Yes.
And that is for melee. I can't really melee anything, but I can get up close. I can use.
Yeah, this character's a lot more maneuverable. I think.
I'm just gonna use the movement, I think.
Movement isn't a push. They are different. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3.
Oh, sorry. You can move them, but you can't hurt them by using them to smash them into a wall. Okay, thank you. That's the clarification. So you can move it with that.
Yeah. But I
But
can't
what
hurt
you
it by
can't
pushing
do-
into the water.
Yeah. Because there's a thing that if you push something into an object that it can't be moved into, then it takes damage instead.
Right. Okay. 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 So I'm using this card basically with this dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've done a move. I've done skitter to get to this point. I can't move any closer, so I'm wasting this. But basically, I'm going to do this action in order to get the card flipped.
Okay.
All right. So I have to flip also another. It's not a Rasta card, is it?
It's the other one.
It's so I will have to flip coordinated attack, which is fine. Don't mind doing that in order to get this ranged attack into play. That goes there, and then I can't do much here. I think I'm going to take stock. I think I need to take stock.
Have you done an attack or no? So
No, I've used the attack, but I couldn't target because it's in melee. I couldn't get far enough.
You could bring it one forward and then hit it.
Oh, I never thought about bringing it forward. Bring it to me.
Bring it to you.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Then you can hit it.
Engaging the boss. You want me to bring it to me?
Maybe.
I mean,
Just thinking we've got one round left.
I
after
didn't
this.
think about that. You're absolutely right. I mean, I should do that, shouldn't I? Okay, I'm going to hold that for the moment. Let's just say that I'm about to do that. I do this first. So I've done my movement to get there. I've then used one enemy within 3 to pull him here.
Yeah.
All right, that's
Good
good.
call.
Yeah, that's good. Well done. Thank you for that. I then get an attack.
Yes.
Right, that's good news. So it's an attack 2.
You've no fire to boost it with your sword.
Actually not. I get a +1.
3 damage.
3 damage.
So are we saying that an enemy has suffered 3 or more damage that's within 5?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, you can have a health back.
Is that a react? That just at any time.
It's a
Okay.
react. Okay.
1 health.
There's a card I'm going to show you.
Nice.
The movement isn't an action. Well, it's an ability. An ability. Right.
Ability, yes.
This is the card because there's a new thing that we've not explained yet, and that is dimming of dice. If you look carefully, there's a tiny little icon here, and this is a reaction card. So after an enemy suffers 3 or more damage within range 5, heal 1 on somebody within 0 to 3. But if I dim a water die, the healing is increased by 1. So you actually heal for 2. So to dim a die, what that means is you take the die from here and you replace it with a dimmed die. Now a dimmed die is still in your ether pool and you can still use it to power the rave skills, but because it's dimmed, it isn't any of the types. Therefore, it will never trigger any kind of special bonus, but you can still use it as a die. So it's dimmed. You've half used it, kind of thing. So I've reacted. That's done. That flips over, and it's an extra dice.
Nice.
Well, no, it's not an extra dice because I had to. But
Yeah, good. Okay, I'm done.
are you done?
Boss man. Here comes
Yes.
Zepudi.
Okay, so it's attacking. Now it's attacking me because it's a ranged attack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we
So
are.
you're adjacent to it, so it can't hit you.
Yeah.
So it's hitting me, and it's doing 2 damage. 2 damage on me. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm down to 7.
Okay.
And it's putting deep shadows on my space,
Hmm.
which unfortunately overrides the healing circle. So healing circle is gone.
End of round.
And now I'm at -2 to my next attack from this space.
Okay.
Yeah, end of round.
Okay.
Right, this is our last round, and we have to do 11 damage.
Wow.
I mean, it's closer than we got last time.
Yes. Yes.
But 11 damage in 1 round is a tall order.
I need ether. I need one more ether.
Have you any way of getting it?
Not with.
You
Not
don't.
in this turn.
I can lend you one. 10 gold, and you can borrow them.
Take stock. I can use that. I can use morph.
I've only got 2 dice. I need 3 for my eviscerate. Yeah, unfortunately,
I need 2 here.
my super big card requires 3 ether.
Oh,
So
Paul.
I can't do it. No.
I can.
And my other attack card is not there. Oh dear.
I can't generate 1 ether.
Okay, there is a way that I can do it. Is if you manage to deal 3 damage to it.
Yeah.
Oh, also you hit it, didn't you, with a melee attack?
I did do that.
You should have taken 2 damage back.
damage. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
So if you manage to hit it and deal 3 or more damage, I generate an ether. With that ether,
Yeah.
I can then do
Big attack.
a big attack and deal 5 damage. It's all I've got.
Right. Well, I'll
Otherwise,
use,
I'm just hitting
okay.
it for 2.
Yeah. I've got 2 attack there. I can't use strange chatter because I haven't got the ether. Can't generate the ether. Therefore,
Okay.
but I can push.
Yeah, I do have a rules question for the designer. My reaction card, this one, it says after an enemy ends a movement action adjacent to you. So does that mean that if
I push him.
Paul uses this to make the enemy move towards me, can I then do that? Because
Be good.
I think so, because when you spend a movement point, you are doing a movement action. I think that combo works. They're saying yes.
Wow.
Okay.
Well spotted.
So,
Well
I mean,
spotted.
it gets me an ether.
Yeah. Gets you enough.
So
Right.
that's another way of doing it if you don't manage to deal 3 damage to it.
Okay. Well, I'll strike first of all.
Okay.
I think that's the best attack I've got right now.
I'm just going online to order some more Valium. So I think I need it.
Right. Okay. So I'm striking.
And
And
it's tense because I've played this scenario twice before and failed every time.
yeah,
So.
it's closer. It's closer.
You're
Right, here
doing
we go.
you're
I'm
doing
doing
strike 2 damage,
2 damage. I am going to take retaliation.
and you've no fire, so you can't make it any better.
Oh no! I just found it so difficult
I know.
to generate the fire. It's +1.
It's +1. It's 3
It's
damage.
3 damage.
Right. So you've done 3 damage, which means you take 2 back,
Yeah.
but
2. I'm down to 3.
I can now trigger this if I want to.
Okay.
But this would be better because I get an attack of 1 on it. So
Okay. So would
if
you like me to move
if you've
it?
nothing else to do,
Well, well, no, because I can't do another attack. I mean, that's. Unfortunately, I haven't got. I can move a non-boss after you attack. After the attack, watch the back.
so after you attack, you
Push 1.
push 1. Yeah, you push something that's within range 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Now that's not a push. Pushing it from there to there.
Oh,
is not a push.
it's not a push. No, it's not a push.
Unfortunately, no.
No, that's different to a force him to move. Yeah, okay. No, okay.
But just to double check what we were saying earlier on, were we saying that the boss cannot be pushed into the wall for a damage, or can it? No, I think it
I think
can.
we're saying you can't.
Because that's what West did. When we played the other day and West was playing your character,
Yeah.
he was pushing it into that die and it was
To make a
taking the damage.
to make a damage.
Oh, am I on a -2 damage space? Oh, I am on a -2 damage
Oh, yeah.
space. Okay. So in which case, when it suffered
So I could move you.
Well, no, when it
No,
suffered
force
3
one.
damage from your attack,
Yeah.
I will react and I will gain this. Right. So we're done. So yes, push it for the damage. Okay, so you can.
So I
So
can.
you can push it.
So I can push, which is using this
Reaction.
well, not reaction. This sorry, the reaction. Thank
Yeah.
you. I'm going to use this reaction
Yeah.
after
So
the
you push
attack.
it, but it
Push.
can't be pushed into there, so it takes a damage.
It takes a damage.
It's on 7.
Okay.
But
and
that
I-
also generates
gain
you an ether.
ether.
You now have 2 ether, and you haven't used a skill card yet.
Yeah, I have.
Or have
Oh,
you?
no, I haven't. No, I haven't. That was a reaction. Well done, Paul.
Have you not used a skill card?
No, because I've done the strike.
Good.
So,
Okay.
okay, so I can't.
So now
I
you
can't do
use-
the melee.
Now you
But I
use
can force him
that.
to move away from me
Yes.
and then do this.
Yes.
It's coming together. Force one enemy, and you say this is okay for the boss or not? Did you
Well,
say, yeah.
yes, I think you
Force
can,
one enemy.
but the rules are that it costs 1 extra movement point to move into a space adjacent to one of these. So, unfortunately, I don't
haven't got
think our
enough to
plan
move it.
works
No.
because you can't move it into there.
And the water is out of bounds, is it?
Yeah, I think the water's out of bounds. Is the water out of bounds? I'm not quite.
It's not got the no entry sign, has it?
No, it's got a blue line around it. Yeah. Now the idea of it moving next to me, we've scrapped that.
Yeah, that's not going to work, is it?
That's not going to work. I needed the extra ether.
Oof.
So that space with ice spikes takes 5 movement points to enter. 5 to enter? Why 5 to enter? I thought it was extra because of the water. I didn't realise it was 5. Because the ice spikes, just check on the thing. I thought it was 2 movement points
Ice
to
spike.
leave.
A unit begins movement in the space
Oh, no, or attempts to move onto
into,
the space.
reduces that movement by 2.
Yeah, so it's 5.
Then the
It's
time,
1 for
yeah.
the space, plus 1 for that, plus 1 for that, and plus another 2 for that. So you can't
So I
move
can't move it
it,
onto
you
that.
can't move it onto that space
Okay.
because that would require 5
And I
movement.
can't move it into the water, I think
Okay.
they said.
Can you use the move to grab a water ether? Okay, water spaces are difficult terrain. They cost an additional movement point to enter. So we can't do that
So I
either.
can't do that either because I can
because you've only got
push,
1 movement point.
push 1. Yeah.
It's this. We're trying to
trying
get
to do
it
that, yeah.
away from you so that you can do
Well,
that.
I was doing the push. No, I've done the
No,
push.
we've done the
We've done the
push.
push, sorry. We were trying to do that so I
We were
could
trying to do that, but actually, I think if you just
just
do
move.
that, yeah, just do that. And
Do
just,
that.
just move back.
Move out of the way
Yeah.
and then fire the ranged
Yeah.
attack. It's easier, isn't it?
There you go. Much easier.
That's
We
easier.
were trying to do some
we're trying to do
fancy
we're trying to do it.
shenanigans.
Yeah, we're trying to do it with the C's. Okay, so now I can do strange chatter, which I don't think we've seen
Where
yet.
were you?
I was there.
Okay, so what you could do is you could go 1, 2, 3, and you could pick that up for 4, and you're 2 away.
Oh, okay.
So for
Yeah.
1 movement point, you can pick up that
Yeah.
water
Okay.
node.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can do that.
Okay. Fine.
Okay, and now
Well,
finally,
strange chatter is yeah. So I'm going to use those 2.
there you go.
Absolutely.
It's 4 damage.
So it's 4. Come on. Let's get another morph. Right, it's 4.
It's 4 damage. That's not bad. So it's on 3.
Okay. And then I have to...
You have to flip over another ant card.
Another ant card. I'll turn this one over.
That one.
And this one goes...
But you're all done.
Well, I'm all done now.
Right.
Wow.
So it's my go. And he's got 3 health.
3 health. Come on, Paul.
But I need to get off the space that I'm on.
Piercer.
Because the space that I'm on
is a -2.
Is Deep Shadows,
right,
is
we've
-2.
Got this. Come on, we must be able to get this.
I've got 3 dice.
Bound.
Well, my 2 big ones are melee attacks. So unfortunately, what that means is I can't move and do a melee attack and then do a ranged attack. No, what I can do is I can move, do a melee attack, use the dice for my boots to move away, then do the ranged attack. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what am I doing?
Not done.
I'll try. I'm bounding.
You're going to bound first.
And I'm going to go right next to him.
Yeah. You're going to take damage. You know this, don't you?
Yep.
You can. I'm on 3.
And then, after that, do I want to devour my prey? Or do I want to...
Eat the boss. Eat the boss.
It doesn't work.
The card says eat the boss.
It doesn't work because both of these skills require me to exhaust another one of these.
Oh.
But it's fine. I'm just going to hope that this does it. I mean, it's going to do it because it's 5 damage. So it's going to...
How can you miss?
The worst I can get is -1.
You can't miss, can you?
So we're good.
Right, good.
Eviscerate. So
that sounds
let's
good.
just show this on screen. I have to spend 3 of my ether to do it, and I also have to basically lose one of my other abilities for the turn is what that does. So I'm going to lose that ability. I'm going to jump 5. Oh, so I didn't need to move 3. No, I didn't need to move 3.
Because you can use that.
I'm just going to use the eviscerate.
Use that skill.
So I'm going to put 3 on it. I'm going to jump 5. I'm going to go around there for a laugh. And then I'm going to hit it. So 5 damage.
Yeah.
5 damage.
5 damage.
Dead.
Yes! Boom! And Zipaldi the Briarbull.
Well, I need to lie down.
He's laying down. He's laying down.
Yeah. And then if that didn't kill it,
you could spend.
Then I spend one of those dice on the boots to step away.
And now.
And then do
the ambush.
If it didn't do it. Right.
Boom.
So then what would happen is after you've gone downstairs and celebrated by having a package of cakes, you will then go to the scenario conclusion in the book where there is some text to read. If you manage to kill the Grove Tender, which we did, there would be some text to read. And then you would read the encounter conclusion. And it says, victory, each rover begins the next encounter with 1 additional water die in their personal pool. And we gain 15 list per character. So we would gain collectively 30 list,
nice.
Which we would then use to spend our stuff. Now, I mentioned at the start of this video that your character cards are going to get better, your character's going to improve, and all sorts of other stuff. That doesn't happen at the end of this scenario. But this book is going to be filled. You can already see that there's quite a lot in there. But all of the scenarios are all designed, as far as I know. And I can't remember exactly how many they are. I think there was talk about 7 chapters, each of which was 5 encounters. But as I say, it's a branching storyline. But at some point in here, there will be. I'm just having a quick look through. There will be something that you get maybe at the end of the chapter. Yeah, you gain extra stuff. So yeah, as it goes on, your characters will unlock more and more things. There's going to be loads of equipment cards that you can buy. The usual rules: you're limited to 2 hands worth of weapons, 1 armor, and things like that. You've got all of these cards which you can get as the game goes on, and then I've not seen the improved versions of these because they're not in this. But there's all of the stuff that you would find in a game like this. There's lots and lots of different scenarios, lots of different characters to play, lots of different ways that your character can progress, and that's everything. I hope this gave you a good idea of how it played out. You've seen 2 of the characters. There will be other people covering this game. I don't know what other characters they're going to be using. These 2 characters are 2 of the easier characters, I believe. Some of the other ones, which we're going to have a look at in a bit, they are a little bit more involved with how they work. So thank you very much, West, for recommending these 2, because
we got there in the end.
We got there in the end.
We looked like we were really done for early on.
And Typhon has just confirmed, there's 50 encounters in the game, but yeah, you don't have to play them all. It isn't that you're going to have to play the game 50 times to complete the campaign, because it is a branching storyline. For example, this is encounter number 1 for quest 1, because we chose to run into the forest. If you didn't run into the forest, you wouldn't be on quest 1. You'd be on quest 2. And I believe that you don't actually do this. These 5, part 1 to 5 of quest 1, you don't do if you go down the right-hand branch. But as I say, at some point the branches do converge together, but there are some major differences. Yeah, that's everything. So before we disappear, thank you very much, Paul, for joining me today.
Yep.
Thank you very much to the publisher, Adults Games, for sponsoring this video. Special thanks to West, who spent Wednesday with me teaching me the game, and this afternoon helping us as we played our practice game. So very much thank you to you. Thank you very much to all of my Patreon supporters that fund the channel. If you like the content that I create and you want to support me directly, you can do so at patreon.com/gamingrules. And if you're interested in the game, there is a link in the description of this video to the crowdfunding campaign, which goes live on Tuesday. Check it out if you're interested in that. And everything that you see here is a prototype, so make sure you check out the page for the full details of what's going to come in the game, what add-ons are available, stretch goals, and all sorts of things like that. But yeah, we're all done. So we're all done. I'll see you next time. Thank you very much, and bye-byes.
Bye.